I wanted to have Star on the program because her and I are very evenly yoked when it comes to so many things, and you all know where I am as far as pro-life and what we do here at the ministry to support pro-life throughout the country with our mission preborn and so many other things that we work with. And Star, welcome. We sure do appreciate you being with us.
Oh, I appreciate it. Only for you, Danny. Otherwise, you would have had to wait till Tuesday.
Well, thank you. I said to our producers, I don't want it to be old news. I want to get her, see if we can get her on. But I sure appreciate you saying that. And I'll tell you, I watched you in front of a group of congressmen and watched Steve Cohen, representative from Tennessee, who is a pro-abortion guy, I'll say it like that. And just really, you were there talking about the heartbeat bill. And
that's right. That's
right. Tell everybody about the
subcommittee.
Yeah, tell everybody
hearing
about
the heartbeat is before the Congress right now in the Judiciary Subcommittee on Constitution and Civil Justice. And what heartbeat is saying that if the heartbeat is detected, the baby is protected.
Hmm. And this is H.R. Bill 490, right?
Right. Mm-hmm,
H.R. Bill 490.
And we're hoping to get it to the House floor by January. So actually, Congressman Cohen did me a favor by going after me.
He sure did.
Because now it's made national news. So that means heartbeat is getting a lot of attention.
Tell us what you were there. Talking about how the importance of this bill. You have been a pro-life advocate for a long, long time and have been out there. I hate to say it like that. I mean, you started when you were 12. We'll say that. How's that? So,
well, no, that's actually, I started in that aggressive life at 12.
Yes,
but,
yes.
Yeah, but abortion is very personal to me, too, because I've been in and out of their abortion mills based on that promise that you'd be able to escape poverty, and also there's nothing wrong with killing your offspring. So I like now this side of Christianity exposing the lies of the left, that abortion is a crime against humanity, and we should not be doing it as a society. And I think that we should do everything we can to stop the killing of the innocent. But in addition to that, the people that are aborting, they're really hurting when they realize what they've done, especially with technology today and the sonogram. We can see it. We're not where we were in 73 when they passed this stuff. And so I think that America deserves to rethink whether this is a good idea for us to leave so many wounded and so many dead in the womb.
Well, one of my biggest concerns is something I talk about often is I always beg people to call in and tell me exactly what the Congressional Black Caucus has done for the inner city genocide that has been going on for so many years. And of course, I never get a call. I wish I would. I wish I could find out exactly what has happened there and what they have done to stop what is going on. It's not just in the inner city, it's everywhere, but to stop what has happened. I'm in Philadelphia, so I don't have to tell you about what has happened over the past 5 years here in Philadelphia with some of the abortion mills. And it just breaks my heart, and it should break everybody's heart. And I like what you said, that we're not where we were back in the 70s. We know so much more now than we did then, don't we?
We not only know much more about the damage that's being done to the innocent in the womb, but we also know the damage of the welfare state. And the challenge with Congressional Black Caucus members like Steve Cohen, who represents Memphis, although he's not African American, he has a very large black population. In fact, it's majority minority in his district. So all he wants is more big government and abortion. He looks at abortion like it's a welfare program. The challenge for him is that it feeds the narrative of victimhood. So what happens in our hard-hit zip codes is people buy this lie that they can't control themselves sexually. So now they're sexually out of control. Marriage has collapsed, and we've actually increased poverty. When you start looking into his specific district, for instance, when you look at marital households, husbands married to the mom and the children, the poverty rate's right about 8%. But when you look in his district and see where you have single moms, the poverty rate is almost 60%. So it's not rocket science. The challenge is liberalism. The challenge is these guys that represent these hardest hit zip codes do not have the interest of their constituents at heart. What they have is their agenda, their big government agenda, and their secular ideas. And that's all they do in Washington. So God just really opened the door for us to expose what's been going on a very, very long time in all of these hard-hit communities where they have Congressional Black Caucus members leading the charge.
When I saw the clip of him saying that you were ignorant based on what I don't know. I was just so fired up, and I actually didn't hear it until this morning. So I come out of my office to get a cup of coffee and hear it on the TV, and I just was appalled, I guess, I don't know. And of course, Louis,
he didn't have anywhere else to go. That's where liberals, they go after you personally.
Yeah.
But to be so quick to say you must be ignorant and or you just don't know how to stand before Congress. Number one, I'm not ignorant, okay? I've been studying these things. I run an urban coalition where we are a policy institute that does nothing but try to promote market-based solutions to fight poverty. This is our interest area. This is my specialty, looking at the data and the damage that's been done by the welfare state and by abortion and try to reverse those trends. But in addition to that, I have personal life experience in these things.
Yes.
So for him to call me ignorant, that's the first place that he went to say, oh, well, you must be either ignorant and or you don't know how to be before the Congress. I've been working in Congress in Washington for 10 years. This is not my first rodeo. I've been in front of congressional hearings before. These are things he didn't know. He just went straight to the gutter because that's probably how he approaches his community. That's the reason that in his community he has the highest infant mortality rates. Most of the people there are in despair, and he needs to be exposed so that we can get somebody in there that cares about the people that live in the hardest pockets of Memphis.
Well, the beauty of it is God used him to expose himself this week. So it was an incredible blessing, and you were a part of that. It really is. And we all of our listeners got to get fired up. And every day I give out 202-224-3121, the Congressional switchboard. First of all, call this moron, I'm sorry, and thank him for exposing this national issue. You can thank him for doing that. And then we can call our congressional representative and say that we have got to get H.R. 490 passed.
Well, right. Well, the first thing that has to happen, I mean, he's blocking calls now because he's been so overwhelmed because this thing has gone viral. He really put his foot in it. But so he's only taking calls I heard from his own district. But where the next step is that they need to get Speaker Ryan's attention so that he will get it to the full Judiciary Committee, that they will do a markup, and then we can have a House vote in January. That's the goal right now.
Okay.
So if the more attention, if people have only one call to make, it should be to the Speaker to let him know that we really would like a House vote on H.R. 490 in January.
So that's the goal, folks. We got to get a hold of the Speaker's office and make sure that we can get this bill on the floor in January. And we've got some good guys. We've got a remnant in the House, and Louis Gohmert and others came to your defense
I know,
quickly.
he came to my rescue. I felt like the damsel in distress between Louis Gohmert and Trent Frank. I didn't know which one was going to try to defend me most. And then next thing you know, Congressman Steve King, who's the chairman of the committee, had to shut the whole committee down. But it did, as you were saying, it exposed the left and the lies that they've been telling and getting away with for a long time. So the first order of business is to get it to the floor. And then the second order of business is to make sure that your local congressmen vote for it. And that's when you want to overwhelm whoever it is that's representing Philadelphia to once it's at the floor to say, you better vote for this or we're replacing you. Because we really need to protect the life of the child. If we know that heart is beating, the 14th Amendment should protect that child. As I mentioned in my testimony, similar to the time of slavery, you had to make every effort you could to say that this is a crime against humanity, so we should not be doing it. And you have to do everything you can to get it out of our society as a legal trend. So I'm glad you're exposing it. If someone wants to see the testimony, they can go to Urban Cure. We put the testimony there. They can watch the testimony as well. They can watch the entire hearing. I think it's the first time in the history of the country that they actually did a live ultrasound in a congressional hearing room.
Oh,
and
wow.
that's why when I said it is disingenuous, I wasn't only talking about him.
Right.
Because one of the protesters had gotten up and started yelling out about welfare programs during the ultrasound when she just couldn't take it anymore. But someone said that another one of the protesters, when she saw that ultrasound, started crying. So we're making a difference.
Wow.
One of the women who worked on the left, who's worked for one of the congressmen that didn't show up, came up to me afterwards, almost in tears as well, saying that my testimony really moved her. So God's making a difference one by one.
Amen.
But it is important that people are vigilant to make sure that we get this crime out of our hands. $520 million to Planned Parenthood to kill what God calls his reward is on our hand. It's on our watch because that's our money.
Amen. UrbanCure.org. I'm talking to Star Parker. And Star, I want to thank you for being with us. And just know, Star, that I'm on 650 radio stations in every state in this country. And anytime you need to get this out there and you want to talk about any of these issues, you call me and we'll get it out to as many people.
All right.
We'll get those.
Thank you for that.
We'll get the phones ringing.
You contacted her. Let us know when you want me on. I'll be on but on Tuesdays. Okay, Dan, Tuesdays.
We'll do it. Okay. Thank you, Star. God bless you. Thank you for the work that you're doing. We sure are blessed to have you. Listen, folks, urbancure, one word, .org. Please check it out.